I am Jessica Broad, and I am a professor of ceramics at the Savannah College of Art and Design. I got into ceramics starting when I was a little kid. My grandmother showed me a place where I could dig clay out of a lake that we had a summer house on, and I was fascinated by being able to make these three-dimensional things out of that. Didn't know how to fire it, but it was cool to make. And then later on, my parents had friends who were ceramic artists, and I learned about kilns and how you could actually keep these things forever. And then in college, I actually went to college thinking I was going to be a painting major, but the ceramics people were nicer. I went to the Maryland Institute College of Art, and I went to grad school at the University of Arizona in Tucson, Arizona. As part of going to grad school, I wanted to do it for as cheap as I could, so I went someplace where I could get a teaching assistantship, and being the professor of record, which they do at graduate schools like that, I got into teaching, and I would get this really great exchange of ideas with my students, and I loved that, and I decided I wanted to stay on teaching. My favorite thing about teaching is watching students fall in love with the material that I have fallen in love with, and watching them succeed, go out in the world, and continue making ceramic art. I hate grading. I wish that I could just hang out with students, teach them fun things, and not have to put any number value on it. My favorite thing about ceramics is that it's something that it takes forever to learn about, so it gives you a lifetime of exploration. I am always learning new things. Every year I learn a lot more, and through teaching I learn even more because students ask me questions about how things are done, and I have to go figure out how they're done, and then I learn more stuff and I can use it in my work. A long time ago, when I was still in between undergrad and grad school, I made a life-size figure sculpture. The standing figure was holding a vase on top of its head. I got it all done, wrapped it up, came back the next day, and the whole top part of it had fallen and smashed on the floor. A whole month's worth of work destroyed. I just remade it. I went back and rebuilt it and started over. I saved part of the smashed face too. Got it in my garden right now. It's like the lower half of the face. Definitely, I like porcelain, so most of my work is made out of porcelain. And I do a lot of surface design on my work, so I've got a lot of detailed surface design on most of my work. Mostly inspired by either family history or biology, which sounds like it's not connected, but it is. I've got a lot of biologists in my family, so I got that connected through that. My personal style, I don't really want them to feel like they should be adapting that, but my sense of exploration, I definitely want them to have that. I like to be able to talk about what I'm doing in my studio, what's going well, what went wrong, different tests I've done, things like that. Definitely need to be patient in ceramics. Just take your time. If it's going wrong, just start over. I wouldn't say you have to have problem-solving skills to come in, but you'll definitely learn problem-solving skills in ceramics because there's a lot of problem-solving. So selling work is something that I was never taught about and had to learn on my own. Basically, you'll need to make connections. So the more people that you meet, the easier it will be to sell work. Therefore, I highly encourage people to go do workshops, do internships, get residencies. The more people you have these professional connections with, the more likely they are to invite you to be part of things that they're doing. Also, galleries will see your work being shown with other people's work, and they'll start to invite you to show work in your gallery. Also, learn how to make a website. You need a website, you need social media nowadays if you're going to be selling work. Galleries are not going to be your only way of selling work. Well, I graduated college in 1996, so most of the technology that people are using nowadays was just in its infancy then. I had to teach myself Photoshop, I had to teach myself how to make a website, I had to teach myself basically anything computer related. I've had to teach myself over the years. So I think one of the things you want to learn in college is how to learn, because things are going to change. What you're learning in college now is not going to be what's going on in 20 years. And you'll need to learn how to teach yourself. You are not going to learn everything that you need to know in 4 years of college, even if you're doing classes every semester or quarter. You're going to have to keep on exploring.